So from what I can see, America is well on its way to becoming a banana republic. And when we use law enforcement to arrest our political opponents and cover up corruption of those in power, all while censoring, by the way, opposing voices and pushing radical agendas that are completely contrary to everything democracy stands for, then what else is it? This past week has been a shocking reminder of the kind of historical turning point we're at right now in our country. Joe Biden's liberal prosecutors literally just arrested the leading Republican candidate and former president for the fourth time. Unsurprisingly, this comes as polls show Trump's ahead of Biden in a hypothetical 2024 race. In some ways, this is really the only political issue that matters right now, whether or not we will stay a constitutional democracy or turn into a failed republic like Venezuela, China, Russia, even El Salvador. And it's truly up in the air right now. The most pressing issue for the next president is gutting the politicized FBI DOJ swamp and putting an end to the rotten corruption we're seeing every day as more and more whistleblowers, emails, and evidence comes forward. And this goes far beyond the election interference of these indictments. Before I continue, though, I've got to get something off my chest. It has been driving me crazy to listen to Democrat pundits state that no one is above the law. Rudy was a great mayor, but no one is above the law. Well, he may be the former president, but no one is above the law. Just stop. You're obviously lying because not one of you liberal talking heads said a word when former Director of National Intelligence James Clapper lied to Congress, or former CIA Director John Brennan. And what about Dr. Anthony Fauci? Remember, he told Senator Rand Paul that they were not researching gain of function at the Wuhan lab, which was totally false. And yes, he was under oath. How about Hillary Clinton, her illegal server? Oh, and then there was the smashing of subpoenaed evidence with hammers after bleach bidding them. And of course, we have the sweetheart deal with Hunter. Oh, no felonies to be found here, just a slap on the wrist and a whole lot of immunity that even a judge had to rebuke. And lastly, we have the commander of corruption himself. You know, the guy that repeatedly said he never even spoke to his son about business. Oh, please, what a farce. But we'll get back to Joe. So to all the Dems professing the rule of law and no one being above it, you're embarrassing yourselves. What you're doing is illuminating just how hypocritical you really are. Listen, if Rudy Giuliani or President Trump committed a clear violation of law, like let's just say selling classified information to the Chinese or the Russians, I would be the first to condemn them upon conviction. But stretching the law and using utterly ridiculous, completely novel, untested methods to stop the leading candidate from campaigning and running his election only accomplishes one thing: destroying our system of justice and ruining the foundation of our democracy. And it doesn't stop with the use of the DOJ and the FBI. The radical Biden Democrats are following this same tyrannical authoritarian model across the board, pretty much on every issue. They're indirectly telling you who you can and can't vote for, but well beyond that, they're telling you what cars and home appliances you can buy and can't buy. They're telling you what your kids can and can't learn in school. Listen, trans and radical indoctrination, oh, that's good. But math and history, no, we don't have to worry about that. That's bad. They're telling you what you're allowed and, more importantly, not allowed to say online. Listen, this is crazy. They want a Venezuela-style economy with a Soviet secret police state and indoctrination and brainwashing that would make Kim Jong-un blush. Meanwhile, they're getting away with corruption, the likes of which we have never seen in American politics. We now have evidence that Joe Biden, as VP, single-handedly altered official U.S. policy on Ukraine to protect Hunter and that corrupt oligarch who was paying millions to the Bidens. We have text messages from Hunter invoking his dad's name to shake down communist Chinese officials, yes, for more bribes. We have Joe Biden lying over and over again about taking part in secret business meetings with Hunter's extortion targets from Russia and Ukraine. In the face of all this, what America sorely needs is a presidential candidate who has the will, courage, and the intestinal fortitude to tackle this monstrosity of a deep state and root this out once and for all. You know, in the first Republican debate Wednesday night, we saw absolutely, I don't think, any evidence of someone like that. Sure, Vivek Ramaswamy, he said all the right things, tremendous passion and wit. I'll give him that, very witty. But he's 38. He's out of his depth, and he's not ready for prime time. And DeSantis, listen, he's been a good conservative governor in Florida, but he's failing to connect with voters on almost every level. And the rest of the field, they didn't move the needle at all. They made it abundantly clear there's one thing. There's one candidate who's shown time and again he has zero qualms about taking on the establishment. He has absolutely no care in the world for the risk, and he's got the experience this country's starving for right now. And that's Donald Trump. He's a boss, period. Just look at this mugshot. Another disgraceful, politically motivated attack. He was right to snub Fox and the RNC hacks debating the likes of Asa Hutchinson and Chris Christie. It's simply beneath him at this point. The bottom line is our country's circling the drain, and we're facing our greatest challenges, certainly in my lifetime, and I dare say ever in our history. I have moments when I think it's lost, it's gone. I don't think we can recover. And then I remember who we are. I remember what we've gone through. You know, what we've been through as a nation. I think about how hopeless the farmers and merchants must have felt when they were up against almighty England for our independence. I think about how we survived the Great Depression and 2 world wars, that we built the greatest military ever known to man with the strongest economy ever seen. And most of all, I remember a kid in Brooklyn. He was born to a father who could barely read and write and a mother who was a homemaker. And how he grew up believing there wasn't anything he couldn't accomplish because he was born in the greatest country in the world. I remember that I graduated the honor grad from the Marines and went on to be a decorated in combat after many told me that at 140 pounds soaking wet, I would never survive. I remember becoming a special agent of the FBI when I was told it was absolutely impossible. I remember graduating from law school in the top 10 of my class when no one in my family had ever become a lawyer or attained a doctorate. And I remember being sworn in as a United States Congressman when the NRCC and the RNC laughed in my face. They told me I had no chance of beating an incumbent Democrat in New York City. But I'll never forget the words of my mentor, political mentor, the late Congressman Guy V. Molinari, when he told me to simply put my trust in the American people, in the voters. Ignore the big shots and know-it-alls in D.C. and in the Republican Party, none of whom backed me. And that is why I have hope for our country. I'm putting my faith in the American people, in you. You don't need to man a post or don a uniform in harm's way. You just need to get out and vote these radicals out of office, from the very top to the very bottom of the ticket. We can take our country back, and we can continue to lead the world. I believe in America enough to give my life for it. And I have faith in the will and spirit of the American people. So join me and never, ever give up on the greatest nation in the world. We can make America great again, but we need a fearless leader who can do it.